ICUP radio station in New York, New York, with our morning show host Jessica Mertens and Haley Ryan. Hey guys, welcome back. This is ICUP right here in New York City. We have a bunch of news for you today, folks. The President of the United States has been declared dead. That's right, dead. But what's the cause? There are many rumors and speculations going around, but before we go into the tragic details, everyone here at the radio station felt it necessary to have a moment of silence in remembering the nation's 29th President of the United States.
Thank you. Alright folks, the death of Warren Harding will always be remembered. The small-town farm boy was born in Ohio. He was never healthy, even when he was younger. The young president had coronary artery disease, and his lips were often blue. He lived a life filled with fat, tobacco, and alcohol, typical in our time. He started out as a young man in the publishing business, but entered politics at the urging of his wife. Today, August 2nd, 1923, the president was found dead. Evidence points to a stroke or a heart attack, but which killed him is unclear.
Yeah, Jessica. More recent stories point to a predicted suicide or even homicide incident. Doctors say they have different opinions about his death. Sawyer's alibi, Sawyer, which is doctor, is that he had given the president a dose of purgative which propelled him into cardiac arrest. This scared him, causing him to run to the sick room and get the counteracting stimulant, but he was already too late. Even of the evidence, wait, I'm sorry, folks, I read this wrong. The evidence is unclear. Dr. Sawyer is clearly guilty of malpractice, both in diagnosis and in treatment. He will be greatly missed. Now here's some jazz music to lighten the mood.
Hello folks, this is ICUP Radio here in New York, New York, reporting the dirty with the dirty. We have yet again more tragic news with the death of Ray Chapman. Take it away, Haley. Haley? Haley!
Sorry. What are we talking about again? Oh, tragic, sad. Yes, very sad. Why do we always put sad crap? Oh well. Anyway, Ray Chapman was 29 years old. He was a shortstop and an outfielder on the Cleveland Indians. He was known as one of the fastest players in the league and was an effective decoy for the team. He first entered the major league on August 30th, 1912. He stole bases a record of 4 times, effectively winning most of the games. Today, August 16th, 1920, he was leading off the 5th inning against the Yankees pitcher Carl Mays. Chapman was crouched when Mays pitched underhanded to him. The ball smacked against Chapman's left temple and bounced back to Mays. Believing that it had hit the bat, he threw the ball to first base.
Chapman was knocked unconscious. When he woke up, he tried to walk across the field, but his legs gave out. He was carried outfield to a nearby hospital where a piece of his skull was removed. His condition was getting better, and the Cleveland Indians players left with relief. They got the bad news when they got back to the team hotel. The Indians won the game against the Yankees and are planning to go on to the finals and dedicating the game to Chapman.
On a lighter note, the Cincinnati Reds are having a pretty good season. Throughout the month, the Reds have been dominating the game of baseball. On March 17th, the Reds beat the Cubs with a score of 11-6. Even more recently, the Reds beat the St. Louis Cardinals with a score of 3-2. We hope to see them continue this streak of good luck. I don't know if you've heard, Jessica, but we have another athlete on the rise.
Jordan Baker?
Indeed.
Oh yes, Jordan Baker, a young woman from our own New York residence, has recently placed second in National Women's Golfing Tournament. The tournament was held in West Virginia, where Baker faced off against opponents from all over the nation. Her rival Marie Smith placed third in the tournament, losing to Baker by 5 points. The winner of the tournament, Annabelle Leanne, is advancing on to the International Women's Golfing Tournament. Recently, I spoke to Jordan Baker and asked her about the loss. She is currently on the phone waiting to speak about her defeat. Hey Jordan, let's talk about your recent game. Are you upset?
Well, of course, like any other athlete, I'm disappointed in myself. I know next year, though, I will come back strong and hopefully place first.
Why do you think your comeback will be so strong, Jordan?
Well, I'm just going to pretend that the ball is Nick's face.
Mr. Caraway, your ex-boyfriend, we've heard many things about you, but I recently heard that you have gotten engaged. Is this true?
We were on the verge of getting engaged, but that didn't happen.
Right. I mean, well, great to have you on the show, Jordan.
You're lucky to have me.
Good evening, folks. We're back with some pretty juicy gossip.
Yes, we are. Did you hear about the crazy party that happened in the West Egg last night?
Why didn't I go? I mean, Jay Gatsby's party.
Yes.
Oh, pish posh. Those out-of-control parties are normal for him. What's so juicy about this story tonight?
Well, I heard that Jay Gatsby was hanging around with Daisy Buchanan. Yes, I heard they were seen at a party, and sources say that they had love written all over their faces.
Ooh, but isn't Daisy married to Tom Buchanan?
Yes, which is why this is such a strange story. I guess we'll see what happens with them. Well, in other news, let's go to the John Scopes trial. In the spring of 1925, John Scopes completed his first year as a science teacher and part-time football coach in Dayton. The state of Tennessee passed a law naming it illegal to teach evolution in public schools. While he was playing tennis, a group of businessmen asked him if he'd be willing to be scrutinized for teaching evolution. He couldn't remember teaching Darwin's theory, but he believed in evolution and agreed to the plan. Let's go to Haley for the opposing side.
Oh, sure. Thanks, Jessica. Making me look like the bad guy. Anyway, in 1921, when William Jennings Bryan was 61 years old. Yeah, old, ancient. Anyway, Bryan began a new campaign to ban the teaching of evolution in public schools. Many wondered if Bryan had given up his progressive ideals. Had his religious faith turned him against science, education, and free speech? Few understood his reasons for opposing evolution. He even quoted, "Evolution is the merciless law by which the strong crowd out and kill off the weak." He believed that the Bible countered this merciless law with the law of love. The trial began on July 10th, 1925. Oh, yeah, baby. And it was the first televised court case. Don't we feel special?
The Scopes trial met all the public's expectations and more. During the 12 hot July days in court, Dayton swarmed with politicians and lawyers, preachers and university scholars, reporters, and even circus performers. The streets of Dayton took on the appearance of a small-town fair, with people selling souvenirs and religious books. The reporters came from as far away as Hong Kong. But, despite all this, John Scopes was ruled guilty.
Dead guy! He's the dead guy! It's the dead guy in the envelope! Dead guy in the envelope! He's the dead guy in the envelope!
It's time for the guessing game we all know and love. Dead guy in the envelope. Let's go to Haley for the information.
Alrighty, guys. This young man died in his 30s. He was an up-and-coming wealthy bachelor who held parties almost every weekend. He knew a lot of famous people, but here's the scandal. Only 3 people showed up at his funeral. WTF? That stands for Wednesday, Thursday, Friday to make this appropriate. He was allegedly having an affair with Daisy Buchanan. In his car, I was seen running over Myrtle Wilson. I'm not supposed to laugh, folks, but that's pretty. Recent news has shown his real name is James Gatz. He was murdered out of envy. We're taking callers now.
Hello, do you know who the guy in the envelope is?
I'm pretty sure I do. Are you talking about Jay Gatsby?
Yeah, that's it, you got it.
Yay!
Alright, thanks folks for listening to ICUP Radio. We'll see you next time.